Hello everybody. Okay, so this afternoon I'm going to be doing a Basque chicken. That's Basque chicken, not Basque chicken. So I'm doing Basque chicken mainly because my brother-in-law Michael is in Spain. He lives there and we haven't done any Spanish dishes and he's been complaining. So I thought we'd do quite a nice Spanish dish. It's one pot, it's kind of a casserole type thing, nice and easy to do. Quite a few ingredients, but you know, nothing too hard to get, I don't think. So let's just quickly go through what we've got here then. So we've got a chicken. You can use chicken pieces. I'm going to do a whole chicken. I'm going to cut it up. You'll see in another video that I've got how to kind of portion a chicken up. So we're going to cut that up into little bits. We've got our good friend chorizo. Again, that's popular. Lots of people like chorizo from the risotto that we did before. So we're going to have some of that. I'm going to put some parsley in towards the end. This is all one pot thing. So you cook things individually, then put them all together. And it's got a load of rice in it. Some paprika, it's got orange, which is a little bit unusual. It's got some red pepper, some garlic, some onions. Normally it would also have sun-dried tomatoes, but because we're on lockdown I can't get any sun-dried tomatoes, so I'm just going to try it with normal tomatoes because we don't have any. Also some black pitted olives, they're yum yum yum. I've just got some thyme from the garden which we have, and we need some chicken stock. I also need some wine, but that's, you can use water if you don't want to, you know, or just a little bit of extra stock. So first of all, I'm going to cut up the chicken, and then I'm going to brown that off, and I'll start doing stuff.
Go.
Okay, so chicken has been portioned up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to brown these off, okay? Because if you cook them straight into a casserole like this, you're not going to get any colour or any flavour on the skin. One thing I do is really give them a good dose of salt, okay? And then I've got a pan here which I'm going to put some oil in, and then I'm going to brown all of these off. And by browning them, I mean I'm just going to get the skin a little brown at a time. Trick to this, okay? Put 3 pieces in your pan at the most. Never do any more than 3 pieces because it will start to then boil, and you want it to fry, not boil. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, so I've browned the chicken here, and my darling daughter, who does all the filming behind the camera, Lydia, shout out to Lydia, she pointed out that I should maybe mention browning because, and it's a really valid point, because when people say browning things, this is what I mean by browning, and actually I mean putting things like a caramelization on it, okay? Browning is a bit of a nightmare, it takes ages. It ends up being, oh, is it really worth doing? A lot of the flavour that you're going to get comes from this. So, you know, I have a pan, it's on a high heat, there's fumes, there's, you know, everything's coming off it, but you've got to get these things really nice and crispy, because when they go in, all this caramelization and sugar will permeate the rest of the dish. So it's, you know, it's a bit of a nightmare, but go and do it and spend the time doing it and get a hot pan. The other thing that I've got, which is quite useful, is one of these things, which is a splash guard, and I put that over my frying pan because otherwise you get things everywhere. So that might be well if you're thinking on doing, you know, more dishes. I use this kind of 3-4 times a week, so it's quite regular, but it stops splashes of oil going everywhere, so worth getting one of those. Right, that's all done. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to get my onions and my pepper and my garlic. I've chopped some of these up. I'm now going to put them in the same pan that I used to brown these pieces of chicken. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you that when that's finished as well.
Go.
Okay, so you can see here I've got these onions and peppers have been cooking away for a good 6-7 minutes here, so they're softening. Oh, the smell is outrageous. And then I'm going to add in, well, hey, I friend, the chorizo. That's like, I don't know, 1 packet of chorizo. I don't know how much that is, probably 300 grams, something like that. And I've got 2 cloves of garlic in there, okay? And I'm going to put those in. I just want, I'm not going to cook that too much, but what I want is I want the chorizo to start giving out its oil. And again, you'll see this is the same pan that I used to do the chicken. So I'm going to put that back on the heat, and we'll come back in a few minutes once that's softened a bit.
Go.
Okay, so that chorizo has now been cooking. Look, you see it's given up all its oil. Oh, I mean, seriously, that is heaven. So what I've got here is some basmati rice. I need about 275 grams of this. So it's unusual that we're using basmati rice, because normally you'd kind of use that on its own. You might use normal rice or other risotto, but this is, we're going to use basmati, and all that goes in. And again, what we're looking for is that the oil in the chorito, you know, when you do these risottos and stuff, you want it to coat all of the rice. Okay, so this is a really important step. Okay, and then I'm going to add some liquid, obviously. A couple of things I'm going to do first though. So I've got everything coated there. What I'm now going to do though is I'm going to very quickly, I'm going to add some thyme, which I've chopped up. This is just thyme from my garden. There's no quick way of doing thyme. What you basically have to do is you have to get each piece and you have to kind of go backwards on itself against the grain, as it were, to get the little leaves off. Then you chop them up. There's no quick way of doing that. If you can use dried, of course. The other thing is I don't have sun-dried tomatoes, but one of the other things that I tend to do and you know, people ask about is peeling a tomato, because I don't want the skin of a tomato. That never degrades really. So you need to, for me in a dish like this, I need to take the skin off, because I don't want people eating, you know, bits of skin. So rather than do all this boiling them up and taking all the skin off, this is how I take the skin off a tomato. I take the top and the bottom off. You'll see that's the bit at the top. I take those off, okay? And then once you've got a nice flat edge, I then just kind of get my sharp knife and go round the edge like this, okay? And you will see that very quickly you can take pretty efficiently the skin off a tomato. It's kind of like when you may have done this when you're doing things like doing grapefruits. You do need a sharp knife, of course, but once you've done it like that, you can then turn it the other way around, and any bits you've missed you can just chop off. And there you go. That's how you can skin a tomato. If you want to then de-seed it and go the whole hog, cut it into quarters, and then you can take this part out, and then you're just left with the flesh. To be honest, on this, because it's a casserole, I'm not going too fancy on it, but I do need to chop these up, and I'm going to put these into the dish as well. So if I just quickly do this, okay, that'll all break down, and then this goes in my pan here, along with, as you can see, the thyme and then my tomatoes. Okay, what I've also got as well is a little bit of paprika. We all love a bit of paprika, so again, teaspoon, a couple of teaspoons of paprika, depends how hot you like it, and then stir that all up. And then I'm going to add some liquid. I'm going to get the heat back into this, and then I'm going to add some liquid.
Yep, go.
Okay, so there we go. That's heated up a little bit, and what I'm now going to add in is a little liquid. So I've got basically about just under half a litre of stock here. You can do part stock, part wine, and that's just all going in like that. One big mix. Okay. Lovely. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my orange. I'm going to very simply just cut that into a few wedges. And that's going to go in here. And the chicken is going to go on the top of this. Okay. And I'll get my chicken, which I browned earlier. And the key thing for this is that chicken needs to stay on the top, okay? Because what you want is that lovely crispy skin to try and stay on there. And again, this is the trick to making these sort of things extra nice, is these little bit of extra care and attention that you take. Look at that. That's fitting just beautifully. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lid on this, and then I'm going to put it in an oven for an hour at about 180, and that's going to sit there for an hour, and at the end of that I'm then going to taste it and I'm going to season it, and we'll be pretty much ready to go. What you'll find is the liquid has going to have been absorbed by all of the rice, and we'll just end up with this like chicken sitting on top of yummy rice. So there we go. I will see you in an hour's time. Took the top off. And that, my friends, is our fabulous chicken casserole dish, and you can see at the bottom here, and if you can home in on there, you can see this amazing rice cooked all the way down, and that is
Don't eat it.
so tasty. Doesn't actually need much salt, because I think there's quite a lot of salt in the chorito and stuff. So again, yours might not have. Add salt and pepper. Again, you can take this to the table and you can serve it, and you can see why I placed chickens on the top there rather than having them, you know, sitting underneath, because then you still get this nice crispiness. But yeah, I can tell you, absolute winner. As they say, chicken winner, winner, chicken dinner. Thanks very much, guys. See you soon.